So I activated the assignment. It's up on Canvas. Also, there is an Adobe Illustrator file with the assignment on there, and you can download it. It looks like this. It's 7 pages, and it starts easy. I'm going to walk you through here how to do this. And then once you have gone through the first 6, this is the final on here. You need to trace the maze, and you need to do it with one line. All right, that's what I'm going to be looking for on here. So, how does this work? Well, the important thing to remember, first of all, I would, if I were you, select a color that you're going to be able to easily see on here. And the other thing, before you start, if you come over here, you should see a tab labeled Layers. All right? We're going to talk about layers next week. You can have things on different layers and you can lock them so they can't be moved. In this case, the template that you're tracing is down here and locked. You're going to be working on this layer, and it should already come up that way. So what I would do is select a color, double click on this, that you're going to be able to see easily. I don't know why I always go for this kind of acid green. It's going to default to 1 point. It might be easier to see what you're doing if you make it a little thicker, so I'm going to make it 3 points. But I want to show you, this is the first problem a lot of you encourage. So this is very easy. What you do is follow the directions down here. It says it just says click. So if I click once, all right, you see nothing. That's because you need more than 1 point to create a line. So if I come up here and click, so click here, click here, click here, click here. All right, easy. But what do you notice happening? What happened to all my instructions down here? They got covered because this is something you have to look for. When it opens up, the default on here is going to be a white background. So the reason all my instructions are disappearing is because, and I'll show you what's happening with a different color just so you can see it. All right, that's what's happening. It's got a fill color of white, which is why it's disappearing. So what you want to do is click on that and make sure you click none. And now you can see all the directions. The second thing you're going to find out is when you finish this and you're like, okay, I'm done with that one, I'll start this one. It's going to try and connect them. So when you finish each exercise, what you need to do is grab the selection tool and click on the background, and that will deselect that. Now you can go back to the pen tool. The second one, this is the difference, is you're going to do straight vertical lines, straight horizontal lines, and even some straight 45-degree lines. And when I showed you the line assignment last week, the way you do that is you click here, look at the instructions. It says shift plus click. If you do that, you will get a perfect vertical line. Here it says shift plus click, do that. This one isn't. It's not a vertical line, so you just click on it. This one, to get perfect 45 degrees, again it says shift and click. So you do that as you go through here. So these are pretty easy, right? Again, when you're done, you can come up here and hit select and just click on the background. On the next one, I'll show you a keyboard shortcut. Then on page 2, you need to do these letters. These are all straight lines pretty much. So if you do the E, I'm holding the shift key down because these are all vertical and horizontal. Do you have to get it exactly on the dotted line? No, you have to get close to it. So normally when I finished one, I'd want to hit the arrow button, but I'll show you a fast shortcut on here. So if I do the A, that's not straight, so I don't need to hold the shift key down. So I can do the outside of the A, Now to do the inside, you would have to deselect it. Oh, actually you don't when you close it. So if you close a shape, it will automatically deselect it. So do the word easy. Here it is deconstructed a little bit. Then here's where you start doing, this is where it starts getting more difficult. What you want to do with these curved ones, follow the directions, all right? So what is it telling you to do? It says click and drag. What you want to do is click and drag in the direction of the red arrow, and you can see it's giving me the two little handlebars, right? You want to drag this until that one handlebar lines up right there. So you're lining it up here. Then you come over here. Here's the point. You're going to click and drag in the direction of the red arrow. And here's my little handle, and look what happens. If I put the handlebar right where it tells me to, I should be pretty close to that line. So you're going to do each one of these. Follow the red arrow. Place the handle right where it tells you to be. And then for the final point, you're going to click and drag. Now you have to look up top, because this is going to be the last point. I'm not going further with it, so I got to try and line up that handlebar at the top. And when you do that, you're done with this. Here's a keyboard shortcut when you finish these to save time. If you just, when you're done, hit the V key on your keyboard, it will deselect it. Now if you come down here to start the next one, if you hit the P key on your keyboard, P for pen tool, now you can start the next one. So you're going to do these. This is teaching you how to use these Bezier curves. Here's the other thing, and I'm going to do this on purpose. If you do this and it's really far off, do you have to start over? No. What you can do, go back here and grab this white arrow, and if you select this point, you can see my handle's a little off up here. You can always go down, and this is in the right place, but this one is far off. So if I click on this point and then place that handle where it should be, place this one where it should be, everything should line up. So don't feel like you have to constantly go back and redo these. It's usually just a matter of getting everything placed in the right place here. All right, moving on. So here are a few tricks to show you. This is if you're going to go from a curved line into a point line. So on this one, this is page 4. So follow the directions underneath. The gray directions tell you what to do. The red arrows show you what direction you should be pulling in. So I'm doing the curved portion of this now. So here's where it's going to go from a curve into a straight line. So what you do, get the curve first. So I'm going to pull this in the direction of the red arrow, but I'm looking below there to line up the handle. And then when you get that lined up, come back here and click that point. And now you can get the straight line by holding the Shift key down. And I know for a lot of you this is going to be a little frustrating, but trust me, when we move on to the logo design, this is going to be really helpful for you. All right, so when you get to this one, I just want to caution you, there is no way to do this with your first attempt here, and I'll show you why. I'm going to follow the directions on this top one. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to put that handle where it's supposed to be, and I'm going to come over here, click on this point, and drag over here to put the handle, you can see it is wildly off up here, all right? You can't do this when you first draw it, so don't freak out about that. Go through the entire thing. I'm going to click and drag. I'm putting all the handles where it's telling me to, and this is looking like it's way off. Don't worry about it, all right? Draw the thing first. Put the handles where it tells you to put them. And then you're going to come over here and do a loop-de-loop. And again, it's wildly off. Don't worry about it. Because, okay, so this is the best I could do on that. It's really off, right? Don't start over again. All you have to do is go and grab that white direct selection tool. What you're going to do is click on each point, and the handle that is really off, you can manually manipulate that into place here. And if your points are a little off, so draw it first. You're not going to get it. You have to go in here manually. Here's the handle. It should be back here. This handle looks like it's in the right place. I click on this point. This handle is way off. This one's a little bit off. So I'm going and I'm just adjusting all the handles on here. And again, does it have to be perfect? No. What I'm looking for is you learning how to use this tool. So I'm a little off here. That's fine. All right. What I do want you to do is finish these. So that was in the right place. So this is the one that's off. Here's where the handle is. Here's where it should be. So you can always go back. No one should have to redraw these twice because you can always grab that white arrow. All right. There's a similar one down here you're going to have to manipulate, and then the final is the maze. The maze has a, oh, I missed one on here. Sorry about that. All right. Here is practicing with those curved lines. When you finish a letter, you're going to have to click on the background or hit the V key to deselect it. You're not going to be able to do this in one line. This one always throws people a little bit too. This is the cloud shape. And there's directions up here, but I'll show you. It's a little hard to get the handle of this. You can start at any of the interior points on the cloud, and I'm going to click and drag. All right, I'm just kind of guessing at this point. You're going to have to go back and adjust this as well, but here's how this one works. And you're going to use your keyboard on this one. I drew one point. I'm clicking on this point. All right. I can see it's way off. Not a problem. I can come back and fix it. But to get the next hump in my cloud, what you have to do is hold the Option key down on your keyboard. And when you do that, it allows you to swing this one point around like a barn door. All right. You guys don't even know what barns are, do you?
Barn, yeah.
I shouldn't say that. It's just like a door. And yes, I know it's way off. We're going to come back and fix that. So you click and drag. When you get it kind of close on the top, hold the Option key down, swing this point around. So click and drag. That one's way off. I'll fix it. Option key to swing this around. Click and drag. Option key. Click and drag. Hold the Option key and swing. So what you discover with the Adobe software, you can get a lot more options on a lot of the tools. using either the shift key, the option key, or the command key on your keyboard. So not even close on this. Again, once you don't redraw it, just grab that white arrow, and it's strictly a matter of grabbing these handles and trying to get this. So this point was a little off. This one, I would call something like that close enough. This one isn't though, so I'm going to click and grab this handle and try and put it closer to where it should be. All right, so for time's sake, I'm just going to leave the rest of it, but you guys should finish it. And then you get to the grand finale here. The maze contains a little bit of each of the techniques that you just learned in the other exercises. What am I looking for on this? I want it to be one continuous line. So don't chop it up into segments, all right? When I look at these, I can open them up in Illustrator and see if it's one line. So, all right, when you are done with this, I want you to save it. Again, what you're going to upload to Canvas is going to be a PDF. If you want to save it to your Creative Cloud account, you can do that as well. So this is assignment 3. As you can imagine, everyone's is going to look similar, so please make sure you put your last name on there. This is assignment 3. And you can upload it as an Adobe Illustrator, but like I've been saying before, I really want you to get in the habit of saving stuff in the PDF format for Canvas. All right, does anyone have any questions? All right, I'll be around to help anyone if you're struggling with anything, but you have the rest of the class a little bit over an hour to do this. It will be due on Monday though, so if you don't get it done today and you have access to one of the labs, you can do work there as well.